Right, so as you can see, we did quite a lot of laying out of the wood chips last night, and I didn't even film a lot of it because I was just tired and exhausted and just wanted to get out as much as possible before I had to stop for the night. I need to get out enough so that the paper wouldn't blow away, and we definitely did that. Today I'm going to put down even more in this area. I want this to be like at least 6 inches thick back here, and then if I have more left over, then I'll start expanding it out into the yard. But before I do any of that, I want to show you the tarp over the compost. There's like tons of butterflies out here today. That one that I showed was landing on my camera. Okay, so the tarp fell over. Well, it didn't fall over, but fell in, which I made a little screw for it to go on. So somehow that came off. I'll adjust it and fix it, but for now it's gonna be fine. And there's one more other thing I want to show you before I start moving wood chips, which this is kind of blowing my mind. I planted the Chicago pickling cucumbers like 4 days ago, and last night I went to go water them, and there's already 2 that have sprouted. So they sprouted in 3 days, which is kind of crazy. I did not think that that was even possible. Apparently it is. Yeah, no, now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have sprouted. I only planted 6 seeds, and 5 have sprouted. I mean, I'm not complaining. That's amazing. I will take it gladly. I'm just gonna look for some okra. I'm probably gonna pick them later tonight since I picked last night. Oh, there's definitely a few. Definitely a few. I also got some bigger mason jars, so that should make the fermenting process a little easier, especially with the okra, because the okra are almost too big for the 16-ounce mason jars that I originally used. But then also for the pickles, especially these Chicago pickling cucumbers, I want to be able to put them whole. I want to ferment them whole. So I needed a bigger, so I got some 16-ounce, some 32-ounce mason jars for that. So, okay, I'm gonna get to work on the wood chips. I need something to go against the fence so that the wood chips don't fall out. Which, I mean, if some fall out, it's fine, but I just don't want a whole of them falling out of through the chain link fence. And that was just some extra lattice work pieces from after making the first compost bin, and that'll work. But that's all I have of that, so I'm gonna need some other stuff. And there's these rocks that line the garden bed over here that I think I'm just gonna remove those rocks because they're not gonna be needed, because I'm just gonna fill that whole space with wood chips anyway. So I think I'm gonna remove those rocks and then line those up against the fence if possible. They're kind of heavy. I don't know if the fence is kind of flimsy in between the poles. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I'll figure all that out later, but as you can see, I put a board where the gate is, and that's a 6-inch Actually, I should probably measure it. It's probably not actually 6 inches, but close to 6 inch width board. So that way the wood chips, I can put the wood chips right in front of the gate and they not, you know, all of them fall out behind the fence. And I'll be able to tell how much wood chips I have in there because that is 6 inches. So if once it's filled to the top of that board, then that's 6 inches. The bolt came off of the nut came off of the bolt that was holding the trailer to the lawnmower. So I gotta either find that bolt, which is probably in the yard somewhere, or I gotta find another bolt to fit this nut. I either gotta find that nut or I gotta find another nut to fit this bolt. I didn't find the bolt that fell off, but I did find a nut. I didn't find the nut that fell off, but I did find another nut that fits this bolt. But I'm also going to try this carabiner and see if it works. If it works, then it'll be easier. I don't know if it's going to be big enough. Yeah, I don't think this carabiner is going to work. Nope. I'm just going to use the bolt then. I was a kid, I was terrified of storms. I'm not really terrified of storms anymore. In fact, now I'm really captivated by them. I think they're amazing. Incoming thunder. Wait for it. There's just something about the sound of the rain, which is very calming, very soothing, but then the sound of the booming thunder, which you're hearing, it's just like so majestic and big, and it just reminds me how small I am. It's so loud sometimes you can feel it. I just find it really interesting, you know, when people go to like a live outdoor concert, like a lot of for a while now they've been doing you know, like, I don't really know what genre it's called. It's like a dance, you know, just the really loud kick bass, and they have these festivals where all these big DJs come and they play their music, and it's outside and there's huge speakers and it's just ridiculously loud. I love music. I love that kind of music, actually. I think it's really fun. But thunder is like just ridiculously loud, or it can be. I mean, the sound alone can shake a building. It can shake your house. You can feel it if it's loud enough. If the bang is powerful enough, and it's just incredible. But yeah, when I was a kid, it terrified me. I was afraid of a lot of things when I was a kid. But at some point, I remember at some point, I just kind of like realized that I wasn't really in much real danger from the storm as long as I'm inside. And then it turned from fear to admiration and awe. So, obviously Mother Nature wanted me to take a break from working. I'm okay with that. I enjoy the storm. We needed some rain. I don't know if we needed this much rain. And honestly, it's been so much rain that I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back out today, because the ground's just going to be so wet. It would just make a hot mess. Especially with the lawnmower. I would mess up the lawn driving the lawnmower over. So I'm probably done for today. There's water pooling up in some of the areas with the wood chips, which I knew this would happen because I've talked about it in a vlog a while ago, that the bottom of the backyard turns into like a small pond when it rains really hard like this. Now, once I have enough wood chips down, I think it's going to actually take care of that problem. The wood chips are just going to displace and absorb the water, and it's not going to be an issue. But right now, there's not probably enough to do that, so I'm probably going to have a little bit of some minor issues with water just pooling up in some of the areas. Now I'll just put more wood chips down, it'll be fine. Okay, well, it's still kind of dark out here, but it's not raining. I'm gonna go check out how wet everything is on here and see if these wood chips helped Even with this small amount, I mean, it's just like 3 or 4 inches deep that we have now, but it probably still helped with this whole water issue. Yeah, I'd say it's fine. No issues. In fact, I could probably keep working a little bit. I'm about to dig into this delicious looking BLT. If you've never had a BLT, you should get on that. After I eat this, I'm probably gonna do a few more loads of the wood chips and then call it a night, but I'm not gonna show you that. You've seen enough of that today. I will see you tomorrow.